Hello, everyone. How's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some more Strange Horticulture, shall we? Picking up with our complete beginner's guide, and it's day 3. So we begin day 3 with this clue card with a full will to explore wheel. And let's go ahead and see if we could take care of this clue first. I always like to try to do the clues before I serve customers, before I do anything, because there is a possibility that the customer who comes in wants a plant that I find from the clue. And if I don't have it yet, then I can't help that customer. So I'm going to go click on Will to Explore and bring over the clue card by dragging it from my desk on the right. And it says north of Hawkshead. Okay, so here's Hawkshead. So we go north, east of Lowick. So we need to find where Lowick is on the map, and it's down here. Okay, so it's east of this, north of this. So I'm just going to kind of say, okay, it could be in this range. And then west of Rustland. Okay, so Rustland is down here. So it has to be in this column. North, and then south of Crinkle Crags. So this is Crinkle Crags here, this mountain. And by the way, the triangle means mountain, the circle means city. So this is it right here. It is north of Hawkshead, east of Lowick, west of Rustland, south of Crinkle Crags. This square meets all that criteria. I'm going to click on it. And indeed, my eyes are drawn to the silhouette of a grizzled old man standing at the edge of a field. His mind is broken, seemingly beyond repair. Vacant eyes fixate on nothing, a whisper of an expression as my gaze sweeps his face, but only a whisper. He raises his arm, points. I follow his outstretched finger, and I'm surprised to find a cluster of wildflowers growing there, hidden from view. So we get 2 plants that go right here. This red one and this, indigo one, and fantastic. So I'm going to kind of just make some space here, and time to ring the bell. Close the map up. I'm looking for a plant. Lady of what's it, something or other. So this is Wilbur Miller. I'm no green-eyed dreher, that's for sure. My mind isn't what it used to be. It's the one that's supposed to help with mental decline. Okay, so it is the Lady of Summer, and it helps with mental decline. So if we didn't have this name, we could figure this out by opening our book and simply searching for the clues he gave. So he said lady something, right? And that's the only lady that we know. So we go lady, and it says here, the leaves curl round delightfully, which, combined with an attractive flower and a hardy nature, make this a sought-after ornamental plant. Aids with conditions of memory deterioration associated with old age. So what this cures would be also a way to easily find that. And honestly, it looks like it's this right here. Let me see. The leaves are curling, and the flower is attractive, and it's got the 2, pistil or stamen or whatever those are coming down, the antenna guys. And I'm just going to say a sweet-smelling dark flower. Now, that being said, what about that one? Looks also the same. So we're going to need some more indication of which one of these 2 it is, because they're pretty close. Now, this one looks less like this because the flower itself is open, but let's see if there's anything. The dark blue petals are soft and feathery to the touch. My fingers ache from handling this plant. Okay, so there's nothing here about hurting you. And these leaves curl round more delightfully. So I'm going to try this one. And it's the right one. So you see, they looked really close. They had a lot of the same features, but what we did there was we said, okay, the leaves are curling more delightfully in this one, but then also the other one seemed to hurt your hand, and it said nothing in the encyclopedia about that. So I was not excited, and we got fennec. Okay, so it has long, soft leaves. So we already tried to identify fennec, if you recall. I'm going to bring this over here, just into our known plant section, and I put fennec like this. But now we could see, oh no, that is not fennec at all. Because if I go to this page, you see how the leaves look like this? That does not look like that at all. So I have to say I made a mistake, and, you know, I'd love to take the tag off of this, but once we properly identify it, it should replace it. And I'm just going to delete that and say okay. So what you do is you click the labels, you put it back on that plant, and you delete the labels. Now, I thought that was fennec because my mind told me that somebody brought it as a gift and said it was fennec, but either I misunderstood I misread them, I misunderstood which plant they were giving me, or they thought it was fennec, but it actually wasn't. So that's why I gave it the purple label, which is like, I'm not sure, I kind of think, but I'm not sure. Pet the cat. Mailman. They're saying the Arda's been killed. I know a lot of people don't trust that sisterhood, but it seemed to me that the Arda always looked out for the less fortunate. All right, we got a letter. The cold is too much to bear beyond the gap. I was forced to turn back. I would advise against it, but if you are determined to explore Great Gable, be sure to take precautions. Knowing you, I'm sure you'll have a plant up your sleeve that could keep you warm should the weather turn against you, says Amos Duncan. So if we go to Great Gable, we can go there, and there might be something there, but we need a plant that will keep us warm. So that is a clue, or it's a letter, sorry. And I'm actually going to put my map away for the moment. And let's just say that we did want a plant that kept us warm. We'd have to look through and try to find a plant that could keep us warm. Predators, reduce anxiety, lets off light, and this is what we use for the poison. This itself is poison, hearing ability, winter boar, insect repellent, okay. Fungus. Oops, here, let me open it again. Let me just start at the beginning. And strengthen visions, stomach pains, skin rashes, protection against cold. It's Brimlock. Those suffering hypothermia, when conditions are just right, this produces yellow flowers. The leaves are waxy and tough. So I don't know if I have, the right plant right now. Waxy and tough. I mean, or maybe it has to be cold for the plant to showcase the yellow flowers. Smooth, waxy. So this is smooth but not tough. They're waxy, that's right. So let's say, do I have something that has yellow flowers? And I might not have it yet. So let's think about that. Norman Lee is coming in. This plant is cursed. It has brought me nothing but sorrow. Please take it. I want no more to do with it. All right. So he's given us this mushroom. He's like, I mean, that's a kind of a tough gift to receive from someone. Yeah, it's cursed. But take it. But you heard me. Yeah, I mean, in reality, for yellow flowers, I'm running low. I'm going to click the bell. Simone Green. Hellebore, always a pleasure, my feline friend. She likes the kitty. I hope he hasn't been nibbling at the plants again. Hey, I have a favor to ask. You owe me for the hours I spent digging out the information about those plants. I've been burning the midnight oil again and could use some common trouse, and I know where to find it. Okay. According to Grayson's herbology, it grows in abundance on red pike. I'll come by the day after tomorrow to collect it. I have business in Sedberg in the meantime, okay? Here, take this. All right, so common trouse. It grows on the mountain red pike. Okay, so fine. We'll go get it right away. So we're just looking for a mountain called red pike. And here it is up here. So I'll just click on it. I enjoy a pleasant stroll up the fell. The going is easy, the weather agreeable, and the views majestic. I do not have to look hard to find what I am after. Boom. So she'll come by and get that in a day or so, but we got it. And let's see, anybody here? Ring the bell. Indeed they are. You get the can. When you work with the occult, I find it pays to uphold a certain image, okay? It doesn't hurt to put on a bit of show every now and then. Let the punters know what I'm capable of, that sort of thing. Okay. I'm just kind of watering the flowers while she's talking. Long story short, I may have threatened to turn a small boy into a toad, and the little bugger called my bluff. Oh, don't look at me like that. You know what little boys are like. I can assure you he deserves to be turned into a toad. Okay. Anyway, I think a little display is needed to discourage this sort of behavior in the future. Have you got any shimmerlung? All right, so she wants shimmerlung. So let's go to our table of contents. And shimmerlung is this. So this is the one that glows, and it says the dried stem burns very brightly and noisily, and the flowers grow wrapped in large ridged leaves. So we need something that kind of looks like so. Let's see if we've got that, shall we? All right. What does this look like? Yeah, look at those flowers. I mean, it kind of looks like it. Yeah, that's right. The flowers, those were the only flowers that were close. I didn't have much description about the leaves or the odor, but the flower picture was actually really good. And sometimes it's the only clue you've got. All right, so we got information about candlewood. Let me just drag this over to our known plants. And ring the bell. Irving Harris. Sorry if I'm shouting. I'm a little hard of hearing. I'm looking for a plant that could supposedly help me hear better, but I've forgotten what it's called. Now, this one we actually already know. I remember it's bright red, though. I'm pretty sure that, didn't we use this, like, the St. John's poppy? Is that it? I feel like we know this one. Yeah. Improves their hearing ability. So this is the first time we've seen it where it's like a question mark for the name. Like they don't, and so we have to kind of work in reverse. And when it's like this and the clues are scant, always check the plants that you know first to see if you already have it. And in this case, we do. Okay, so, it says identify, but we already had it identified. Now we're done with the day. But before we finish the day, by golly, I'm going to see if I can make any sense of this. So we need to go to Great Gable. I'm going to try to go to Great Gable. And it's up here. After several hours of arduous hiking and scrambling, I am still some distance from the summit. I am freezing cold and ready to head home. I should do the sensible thing and turn back down the mountain. Unless, okay, so I'm looking for Brimlock. And I need to see if I can find this. Now, I went through all the notes to find that, but they actually just tell you the name of it, so it's kind of a bit of a waste. But anyway, the leaves are, end at a point, and then have a ridge down the middle. No flower, sparse leaves. So it could be this because there's, no flower at the moment. But what I would recommend is before we go trying stuff, let's just at least see if we have it. So he says, the hint says I have it, but it's not cold enough for it to flower. So honestly, I think this is it. This looks right. The leaves are the right shape, but it says no flower, but that doesn't mean it. It just means it's not cold enough. So let's try this one. And that's not it. So Rising Dread. So let's go back to the other one that we thought, which was this one with the waxy leaves here, and see if this is it. There we go. So I was wrong, and that's okay, because the original plant that we suspected potentially turned out to be it. And, it doesn't have to have a flower, even if it says there is a flower, because the conditions have to be right for it to bloom. I push on, no longer feeling the cold, and am presently rewarded. So we can collect the Sunset Mountain Camp entry for identifying that. And we get a new plant, which is this guy. And we'll put it over here. Yep. And then we'll just go ahead and put our Brimlock with our other plants that we've identified. Fantastic. So look at this army of plants that we've identified. It's still outweighed by our unidentified plants, but we're doing great. I'm going to put this solved letter in the archive and put my map down here for the moment and just say we're doing so well. And I hope you have enjoyed this little series. I just wanted to provide a bit of a walkthrough of the first few days to help you get your sea legs, as it were, with the game so that you can understand kind of what the puzzles were asking you to do, some of the logic, and some ideas and best practices for identifying plants and solving the clue cards that you get, etc. with the map. If you would like to see more in this series, please let me know in the comments below. I could certainly do more, but I think this is a solid place to leave it off for now. So if there is interest and people do request it, I could forge on ahead. But I think this is a good place to wrap up because I feel that you've gained the basics of Strange Horticulture. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Take care.